In this video, we'll look into Workspaces. We'll go through all the features in the Workspaces menu. Hopefully the result will be you'll be more in command of your projects in Origin, more confident and more on top of your data. To properly support the Workstation, we've done a lot of work to Workspaces. So what is a workspace and why do you care? So a workspace is basically what we see here. This is our scanned in raster image. You can see all the edges where the camera, what it saw when it was scanning. And then we have all the data for the tape. It's turned blue. We have a grid line running through it. Basically, all of the files, say SVGs you've placed on ToolCAD, everything's accumulated into what we call a workspace. So your cut history, you name it, it's all going into a workspace. So every time we scan, we create a new one. We'll go to the scan menu and show you. Up until now, these were all just named without the ability to manipulate it. So you would get, workspace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it was difficult to stay on top of things, which the Workstation makes that even more pronounced, right? So here we have all the visible workspaces. So this is every project that we've done on this Workstation, and they all look quite similar because we're all using the same tape field. So we've gone in and added the ability, you see this one's called Oval. So I can now go in here and rename this. So I'm going to click here and go rename. So Oval 2. So this is my oval workspace, and what's cool about this is now I can quickly find it in a lineup. So even though I'm only looking at the currently visible workspaces, which there's 24 currently visible, we tell you how many results you get with each of these. And there's a total of 97 workspaces on this machine. So that's every time we've hit scan or add to scan, we've got a new workspace. But now we can do things like add to search here, and if I go oval, so as soon as I type OV, I'm down to one match. So now I'm confident I can hone in and find the project I'm looking for. If you have that word in all of your workspaces that are working on that project, you instantly can hone in with this search feature and find exactly what you're looking for. So that speeds that up. And the fact that we initially view only currently visible, that clears away a lot of clutter. So if you're looking at tape, you're only looking at what is currently relevant. There's a few more things here that are kind of cool. There's the standard sorting. So recently used, recently modified, A to Z. So that should be pretty self-evident. We've looked at search. Now we're going to look at here. So this blue line shows me which one's active. I can then go in and just manipulate the naming as we've seen, or I can duplicate it. So let's say I'm working on my project and I want to get experimental. I want to try some ideas out. So I've duplicated this to copy, and I'm just going to rename that to experiment. Done. So now I've got a file with experiment in the name, and I'm going to go in here and just start tooling around. So I'm just going to do some sort of destructive editing, test out some ideas, but I can do this now comfortable in the knowledge that I can always go back to that original file. So if I say go create basic text, add a C to this, done. I'm also going to scale this down to like 0.18, done, and we'll just snap that there. Delete the original. So this is now readily available for me to cut, but I can always go back using my workspace to the original. So they both exist now, and then I could take another permutation and adapt this. So that's a nice, way to lock down something you're happy with and continue to experiment. Beyond that, we have delete, but that pretty much rounds out our Workspaces behavior. It's presented as simply as possible and should be pretty intuitive, but very powerful when you start using your own naming conventions and things. So we've improved the ability to seamlessly and intuitively switch between workspaces. So if you're performing a project that spans multiple different materials or different thicknesses, or maybe you're working collaboratively, we have now improved the way Origin moves between previously scanned tape fields, which is a workspace. So we're working on the Workstation here. I've got a live job operating. I've scanned another panel. It was further away when I scanned it, but I've brought it close together so we can see how this behaves. So I've moved to the second panel, and it instantly shows me, hey, Workspace 82 is available. And the green button's there to immediately return to the most recent workspace. If we return back to our Workstation, you can see we have two options there, and the green button once again represents the most recent workspace that we were working on. Now the workstation has the same tape field for multiple workspaces. So that bottom option shows us all the scans that are currently visible with that tape field. So that's obviously going to be a few. So we can now select the one we want, use all the standard search tools, sorting, you name it. It's very flexible. If you're in a collaborative environment, you can see how you can just pass a tool back and forward and keep multiple people busy. But also if you just have projects running across different materials, this makes it very easy to move without having to navigate menus and things. So once again, green button returning to the workspace. So that's Workspaces. Very powerful when used in combination with your own naming conventions. You'll notice we don't enforce anything. You can use it however you like. But there's a few key features there that keep you productive and in command of your projects. Over to you to take it from there and adapt them and use them however you feel fit, however makes most sense for your workflows.